From the shadows of the Queen City, we invite you to settle in for a series known to produce nothing short of spectacular soccer. The dynamic attacks of Crown Legacy FC and Chattanooga FC have produced a combined 35 goals through 12 matches this season, including 5 when they squared off in the season opener. And the all-time series has treated fans to an average of 4 goals per match. No pressure, guys, but those are the kind of fireworks we are hoping to see from 2 of the Eastern Conference's finest. Let's get familiar with the starting lineups and see who some of those players might be to put the ball in the back of the net. Crown Legacy has had no shortage of bagsmen this season. They will be missing one big name, Rodolfo Loco, who has caught the attention of the first team, but Nifasa Berchimas is back in there, and Hugo Mbong, coming off a goal in his last game, is up front for the home side as well. They get some first-team help from Bai Koulibaly and Aaron John in midfield alongside academy player Mendoza. Now for the visitors, it's a 4-4-2. May turn into a 4-2-4 at times, depending how high those wingers play. They make 3 changes from their midweek matchup in the U.S. Open Cup. Of course, Chattanooga, an independent club, so they've only got one set roster to choose from. And they told us this week, head coach Richard Dixon saying, you know, we're coming in with a combination of guys that are fresh and some that are banged up. We're just going to have to find the best remedy for success down here against Crown Legacy on the road. It's a place where they had some success last year, went down 2-0, and were able to storm back for a memorable 4-2 comeback win. And they've taken one of those Crown Legacy players back with them from last season. That is Yves Chayap, who you see starting there at right back wearing number 2. He scored in their Open Cup game against Atlanta United. They actually scored the first goal against the MLS team at home in front of the 5,000 plus fans at Finley Stadium. It was a great moment, but one that did not last terribly long in Chattanooga as they fell 3-1 to Atlanta United. They've got another tough test now. Crown Legacy, 5 wins, just 1 draw, which came in their last match against Toronto FC, and they went on to win the shootout. But they are still top of the MLS Next Pro Power Rankings, and this very much is the team to beat. Crown Legacy in white with a blue strip across the chest. Chattanooga in baby blue, and it's Mangaroff off to the races as we get started inside 15 seconds from the Sportsplex at Matthews. My name is Parker Johnson. So happy that you've joined us on this beautiful, toasty Saturday evening in Mecklenburg County. Highs touching 90 degrees in the Queen City this afternoon. It's cooled off a touch, but still hot and humid as we begin play with the sun dipping behind the main stand. And Crown Legacy back where they played their Open Cup match this week. The first team of Charlotte FC taking on a local rival in USL League One team, Charlotte Independence. They came away with a lopsided 6-0 win in that one, with a couple of the second team guys able to make an impact, including a Loco and Berchimas. But after the quick start from Chattanooga, they've earned a free kick in the attacking half. It's Mangaroff with the in-swinging effort towards goal. He careens it off the wall of Crown Legacy players as they will try to step their lineup. Jakupovic launches it back to the front line. Anthony Garcia latching on. Looking for that ball through to Mangaroff, perfectly weighted. So much so that Mangaroff had checked his run and still had enough time to catch up to it. Talk about putting the ball where you want the player to run. That is an excellent pass. Ashton Camden able to make some headway up the left side. He'll be listed as a left back formationally, but Camden very much a piece of what Crown Legacy builds their attack around. They flood so many numbers forward. They can move the ball so quickly. And the team-first approach under Kevin Sawchak is a huge reason why they were March's Team of the Month in MLS Next Pro. Off to a perfect 4-0 start in the opening month and trying to keep that going here in April. Corner right on top of the 6-yard box. A commanding header from Nathan Kohler as Mendoza picks it up. Cleary, a tidy nutmeg. Husakuski was beaten, but Garcia was not. And it will be another corner for the home side. Fans will get a look at that skill on the replay board. Pretty fast-paced start. I was hoping not to jinx anything with my big build-up there at the beginning about how many goals these two teams have scored against one another, but there's just no keeping them down. Aaron John, homegrown player, in with the second team, swings in the corner, and it's found Kohler's head again. Husakuski getting in on the action defensively. Knifing towards goal. Oh, that's a good shot from Berchimas. Jakubovic was not certain which side of the post that was gonna go. It nearly worked out as a pass to Hugo Mbong, who is holding down the center forward position, wearing number 83 for Crown Legacy. Well, Berchimas going to need to create more opportunities like that. His dynamic duo up front with Rodolfo Aloco has been separated a bit as Aloco signed his first-team contract earlier this month. It's the way of the world, the Next Pro. Get off to the kind of start that these guys have this season, and you're not going to stay in the second team very long if you prove that you can make that kind of impact. Cleary blazing a path forward. Defended well, though, by Garcia. Forced back, and Husakuski regaining possession. Jakubovic won't mess around. He knocks it forward in the direction of Alex Krell, but in reality, just a way to push the line forward. Jack Neely looking very assured as he carries the ball through the lines. An over-eager pass intercepted by Chayap, the former Crown Legacy man. Krell combining with Mangaroff, considers a first-time ball, but he's going to let the runs develop. Now, back post service. Robertson trying to bring it down through the sunshine. Krell fighting through some contacts. No whistle forthcoming from our referee, Amin Hadzic. Berchimas. Well, Chayap has been in that battle before on the training pitch over the last couple of seasons. Berchimas running at him again. Chattanooga confronting with a low line of pressure here. But they're maintaining a condensed mid-block with the back four keeping some distance outside their 18-yard box. Trying to squeeze the area that Crown Legacy can play in without straying offside. Frustrate the team that has had so much attacking success. These will be the moments that they try to spring forward Chattanooga. It's what they are so good at. And Crown Legacy head coach Kevin Sawchak, when we got to speak to him ahead of this match, he was well aware of the danger. He said that the biggest challenge facing Chattanooga is how direct they can be, how they will push numbers right up to the back line, and they aren't afraid to go over the press. So when they do win it back, a team like Crown Legacy, their strategy is usually to try to win the ball back high up the pitch. And you can try against Chattanooga, but they will just knock it in behind. They're not going to be tempted to play out every single time. Provides a much-needed spice in MLS Next Pro, where a lot of the play from some of these MLS academies can start to bleed together. And it's a good thing. It's developmental. It's teaching the young kids how to play the all-around game, but you get a more experienced and older team like Chattanooga competing as an independent club, and it breaks up the types of opponents that you face week in and week out, especially when you're in the same division as them and you get a couple meetings every season. Koulibaly able to cause a deflection. So a corner coming up for Crown Legacy. Already their third in short order. Berchimas having a chat with the referee. Neely trying to keep it in play. And it had already gone over the end line, so goal kick for Chattanooga here. So we talked about the defeat in the Open Cup for Chattanooga, falling 3-1 to Atlanta United, but their last league match was a 3-1 win against Orlando, keyed in part by Alex McGrath, a player who they will be without tonight, part of the rotation coming off of that midweek Open Cup fixture. His 4 goals and 2 assists will be missed for certain. Played very well in an attacking partnership with Alex Krell as he has returned this season from injury. McGrath had a goal and assist against Orlando in that 3-1 win. Hadzic, our lead official, has been diplomatic to start things, being extra careful to have a word with these Crown Legacy players rather than just dishing out cards straight away. Time it was Emmanuel Ochegbu he was in conversation with, as Jakupovic boots it up in the direction of Krell. Chimas won't get on the end of it. Tried to maneuver his way around Chayap, who has held up well in the early stages. Picked up by Uchegbu. Driving at Tate Robertson and pushing it out wide, looking for the return from Berchimas. Crown Legacy having a tough time finding a way through this rigid Chattanooga defense. And at this time, in the first meeting between these teams this year, Chattanooga had already taken a lead in the second minute through Damian Barker-John, who starts on the right wing tonight. Hasn't been too involved in the play just yet. But from there, it was 4 unanswered from Crown Legacy to notch a 4-1 victory that really set the groundwork for what they would go on to do in the month of March. A perfect 4-0 record. They scored 17 goals in that opening calendar month, which was the most ever by a team in MLS Next Pro. And only Tacoma and Columbus, both doing so back in 2022, can ever say that they've also gone undefeated in a calendar month while scoring 17 goals. So historic any way you slice it, the way that they started the season. But if you're one to look at the standings and see that as a primary target, what you do in the opening month really has little bearing on the postseason outside of some of the fundamental principles that you can build from, because there will be so much player turnover, especially when a team is doing well. Saw that with, for example, a team like Tacoma Defiance last year. Osaze De Rosario got off to a blazing start to the campaign, similar to what Rodolfo Oloco has done for Crown Legacy. De Rosario moves into the Seattle Sounders first team, and before you know it, he's scoring in the Leagues Cup final against Lionel Messi's Inter Miami. So great success, obviously, from a Seattle Sounders standpoint, but it didn't leave Tacoma very well off towards the end of the season, as they hit a bit of a tailspin and failed to make the playoffs for the first time in club history. So these are the kinds of twists and turns that you can see, especially with a really talented group. And right now, Crown Legacy will be battling some of those first challenges, playing without Oloco, but they still have so much talent in this attacking group. Hugo Mbong, a proven player at this level, and one who is in good form. You got Berchimas, who is in the middle of one of the best runs of form you will see from any attacking player. Berchimas, since returning from a broken foot last August, has 11 goals in his last 15 matches, and he has scored in all of his last 6 appearances in all competitions, including the Open Cup match in the middle of the week. Jakupovic trying to spot Chayap over the top. That's how they got that opening goal against Atlanta United. A long ball to Chayap. Doesn't come off this time. Whatever goal you're saving for, we are all better off with an Ally. Ally, the official bank of Charlotte FC. Ally Bank, member FDIC. Berchimov weaving his way and having his shirt pulled just a tug. A sign of respect, no doubt. There will be opponents fighting over who gets to keep his shirt for many years to come. But right now, it's Krell. And he's found an offside Mangaroff, who thought he had checked the line. You can see the disappointment. He tries to hold up his run. Watch him. Staggers, stutters. And Neely stepped up just enough. Playing in alongside Andrew Johnson as the center back duo. Now Damian Barker-John showing some of his own moves as the far side of the pitch from our perspective has put on quite a showcase in the early going. Robertson clip through, looking for Garcia. He stayed onside. Has Sorensen in support. Robertson. Always looking for that killer pass. He's already managed 12 key passes in Next Pro play this season. An average of 2 per match. Moving into the midfields by necessity. Wasn't necessarily the plan coming into the year, but he is just such a good footballer. Richard Dixon said that no matter where you put him, he's going to create those kind of opportunities. Chiap goes for the cutback. Barker-John trying to play it through the legs of Mendoza, who was alert. And Husakiewski in a foot race with Berchimas. Now he can bring him into a physical confrontation. And a foul there is probably an acceptable result from a Chattanooga perspective. You let Berchimas stretch his legs and you could be in deep, deep waters. Husakiewski, one of the 3 changes for Chattanooga interim head coach Richard Dixon. And perhaps a natural choice. Coming back to his hometown, he is a Davidson native, played college soccer at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. And he signed in the middle of last season, kind of one of those midway point reinforcements for Chattanooga FC. It was just his 3rd appearance when they matched up with Crown Legacy, and he scored an absolute belter from outside the box. It was the first goal in a stretch of 4 unanswered that helped Chattanooga FC turn around a 2-goal deficit and claim a 4-2 win here at Matthews Sportsplex. A match that came close to sealing Crown Legacy's fate of no postseason matches last year, and likewise for Chattanooga helped solidify their spot in the top 4, which allowed them to host. Krell did so well there. No teammates catching up in time. Sorensen wants it out wide. And one thing that is abundantly clear, there is space when Chattanooga get it in transition. It's just about making that correct decision on the final ball. And at times it's the lack of a runner that makes that decision difficult. Or if you only have one option, you're kind of forced to telegraph the pass. Makes it that much easier to defend. But the chances are there. You can see where Crown Legacy has some cracks along the back line when they do give the ball away. but this is where they're good. Mendoza gets a hefty shove from Robertson. Making sure that the young academy player feels it. Just his second start of the season for Mendoza. Started April 3rd against Atlanta United. Clear as day there, walking the line about a potential yellow card, Robertson. Andrew Johnson. Great ball out to Cleary. Begging for a runner to meet it. Chayap alert to get there before Berchimas. At Atrium Health, we don't just treat part of you, we treat all of you so you can enjoy those winning moments that matter. Atrium Health, the official healthcare partner of Charlotte FC. So glad you've spent a part of your Saturday night with us here on MLSXPro.com and One Football. Matchup between two of the top 5 teams coming into the weekend in the Eastern Conference. And Crown Legacy have really been the class of the league, so no doubt a few tuning in to see what their creative attackers could scheme up tonight. And maybe Chattanooga have picked up a fan or two as well. Garcia, decent effort, sent behind for a corner. You know, that is one of the great benefits of the U.S. Open Cup. Getting teams more exposure, getting the fans involved, and Chattanooga able to host Atlanta United. Bring some new eyes to a club that has really been doing great things in that community since long before they were a professional team. And they've joined Next Pro and they haven't looked back. Hosting their first playoff game last year. They've got a corner to consider. Headed down to the edge of the box by Crown Legacy. By Koulibaly. Did well initially, but then gives it back. Barker John. Direct and effervescent from the Grenada International by way of Queens, New York. Played some college soccer at Louisville and has made his new home with Chattanooga after playing most recently for Huntsville City. Barker John. Got 3 goals this season. He and Alex Krell, the leading goal scorers in the lineup, with Alex McGrath not in the squad this evening. The longer this stays 0-0, the more the temperatures will rise. Still awaiting our first half breakthrough. Chekbu had the overlap. Brings it inside. Checkbu a little too physical with his Mark Sorensen. Good traveling support from the Chattanooga. We know that some of them who've stayed back in Tennessee are watching along at the Clever Ale House, the official watch party, but you can hear the Chattanooga faithful up in the stands. Got the flag draped over. You can see up behind the team's bench where interim head coach Richard Dixon presides, and we have now reached a first half cooling break with temperatures in the high 80s and about 60% humidity. Important to make sure that all these players stay hydrated. So 0-0 through about 30 minutes of action, and I guess you could say Crown Legacy missing a piece roughly the shape of Rodolfo Aloco. The attack hasn't quite fired off to the tune of 22 goals in their first 6 matches, but part of that also down to a great effort from Chattanooga FC so far. Coming off a midweek match against Atlanta United, and talking to interim head coach Richard Dixon, he said that is the best competition that we will see all year. For our guys to go toe-to-toe with Atlanta United in some of those key moments, I think that was a testament to the work and effort that they've been putting out for the last 12 weeks. And they got to show it on the stage that is the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Obviously leave some tired bodies for this match. They will be grateful for a chance to just pause and get some refreshment. 8 starters who started in the midweek starting this game as well, and so to make it through 30 minutes without conceding against Crown Legacy, things definitely going to plan so far. They've also had some opportunities playing off the ball a bit and trying to hit in transition. And now for Crown Legacy, how can they elevate the speed of play? How can they put the pressure on Chattanooga and really blitz them for the last 15 minutes here in the first half? Part of what has made Crown Legacy so good this year is not just the number of goals, but it's been the sequencing. It's been the timing of their goals. Striking when a game was still in the balance, hitting just before or after the halftime break. Being able to respond on the rare occasions that they have trailed in a match, as they did the first time they played Chattanooga. Those have been pieces of the mentality that have made Crown Legacy so good, and when you do split the half up with the water break, that becomes one of those real turning points. So we'll see how both teams adjust as we are back underway, and Crown Legacy looking comfortable on the ball here, playing out of the back. Uchekbu. That could spin right into the path of Cleary. he calls off Uchegbu just to make sure that he had the best angle at that. Uchegbu a little bit frustrated, but they do generate a corner kick. You can shop local, shop smart. Rugs.com, proud sponsor of Crown Legacy FC. Visit us today and bring home a winning look. Rugs.com, where every home goal starts with the perfect rug. Played short, sent in by Mendoza. Andrew Johnson unable to keep his shot low enough to find the frame. Don't think that's the exact cross that Mendoza had in mind. And Johnson did what he could with it. Well, they sip on a little bit of Gatorade, and you can see that the Chattanooga press has definitely stepped a little bit higher since we've restarted the play. And now there's room in behind for Crown Legacy. The pullback from Berchimas. Trying to cut it against the grain of those recovering defenders. Had a couple teammates sprinting in. And now it's Anthony Garcia going the other way. Mangaroff. Out to Garcia. Krell's there for the cutback. That is a golden opportunity for Chattanooga. Very well worked. Patient in transition. Just keep an eye on Krell as he moves on the back of the formation, working on the back shoulder of Andrew Johnson. He makes his initial run, doesn't get the ball through, but he knows that's where the ball is headed, so he just waits. He lets the defenders retreat, and that's how he opens up the space for himself. Masterclass in center forward play up until the finish. Berchimas has Sarsar for company, and the Argentinian center half making himself a mountain at the back. Berchimas had that one first shot that came in low and just missed out on the far post, but other than that, he's done a lot of dribbling and hasn't really produced a lot of opportunities. Part of what makes him so good is just that endless positivity when he does get the ball, that desire to drive at his defender, no matter who he's up against. And Bong curls his run in behind. Great first touch. Does find Berchimas on the far post. Keeps Chayap. The one who defends well against Berchimas. That's a clever pass from Cleary to pick out Emmanuel Uchegbu. Working against Sorensen. Cutting back, Uchegbu. A little trot on the toes of Damian Barker-John. Able to relieve the waves of pressure crashing down on Chattanooga's back line. One side it's Berchimas, one side it's Uchegbu, guy who has battled some injuries early on in the season, still getting back to his top form. And if anybody knows what it feels like to go against Uchegbu when he's at his best, it's Chattanooga FC, because the Nigerian has 2 goals and 1 assist in his 4 career appearances against the Tennessee club. Krell with a final warning from Amin Hadzic. Camden picks it out for Mendoza. Deflection could have gone anywhere. It's John. Kohler gets his body in front. A critical block from the Augusta, Georgia native. He got the first block as well on the shot from Camden, and that's what elicits the huge reaction. Played that short ball twice to Mendoza on the corners. And on both occasions, couldn't beat the first man with his cross. Chattanooga very good at defending balls in the air. They've shown it both on set pieces and through the run of play in this match. Neat layoff there. It's Mbong. Cleary clipping in, headed away by Chayap. An untimely slip cedes possession to the former Crown Legacy man. Chayap's only got so much in his legs at the moment. Krell. Mangaroff. Tate Robertson. Don't give him a chance to shoot, but don't give him a chance to pass either. Barker John with the cutback. Oh, Mangaroff has to score. A huge save from Quinn Syrett in the Crown Legacy goal. First time he's been called into action, but will he need another? Offside. It's a great breakdown from Chattanooga, and it's perfect until the final moment. It was harder to miss from there for Daniel Mangaroff. I mean, he gets any kind of elevation on that shot, or he can put it even 8 inches either side. And he is probably beating Quinn Syrett, but credit to the goalkeeper for keeping himself in the play, getting down quickly, and keeping that ball out. He's a player who, you talk about getting thrown into the fire for your pro debut. Jaheim Wickham, who signed with Crown Legacy out of college in the offseason, came in expected to be the day one starter when they suited up for the match on the road against Chattanooga. Finley Stadium, it's an intimidating environment. And Wickham picks up an unexpected injury in the warm-up. This ball falls loose to Sorensen. Barker John. And Quinn Syrett not only found himself inserted into the lineup, but conceding a goal to that man Barker John within moments in that opening match. But he was able to collect himself and keep his head cool that day. He winds up with 6 saves in that 4-1 win against Chattanooga. And he's been pretty steady in goal ever since. Today, his 5th start. He's only gotten 1 clean sheet in his first 4, but he's only given up 6 goals. And the way that Crown Legacy scores, that is more than enough cushion when they're putting up 4s and 5s on the other end. Kuski nearly got in some trouble. And Krell coming in from behind. He got his last warning a minute or two ago, so we'll test the honor of the referee here, who doesn't appear to be interested in giving a card just yet. And somehow, after 44 minutes, we still haven't seen a goal. Chimas drifting into the pocket. I think Krell knew he was offside there. He checked his shoulder as soon as the ball came through and realized. Crown Legacy have been aggressively stepping up their line. They know that that long ball is coming, and they've been able to catch Chattanooga offside a couple times here toward the end of the first half. Bergimas. Mbong. Combination with Camden. Doesn't come off for him. And it's Crown Legacy throw as we enter 2 minutes of first half stoppage time. Just enough to make up for the couple minutes we had for the hydration break around the 30-minute mark. Chegbu. Koulibaly. Well won by Anton Sorensen. He'll carry it out for now. That's a dangerous pass back, putting Kohler in some trouble. But that foul should help Chattanooga get close to the halftime whistle. Jakubovic has taken control of the situation, and the veteran goalkeeper, 41 years old, he's seen a lot of football in his day. You don't mess around with a minute left until the halftime break, especially how well they have played defensively. No risks need to be taken here, so they will send it long. And Garcia runs it out of play, but there's a whistle that goes. Possible head injury here, so they're going to stop the play to check on Jack Neely, the homegrown academy products, who became the third homegrown signing in Charlotte FC history back in 2023. Definitely a clash there with Alex Krell, who's been at the scene of the action quite a few times in the first half. But Neely looks fit to continue. The trainers have come out though, so we'll see if he has to step off briefly after the quick concussion check. Yeah, that's the point that the referee is making here. He's got the wrong guy in Will Cleary, who's a little confused. But Neely will have to step off. And it looks like the referee is going to give it back to Chattanooga here. Could overhear some chatter with the Crown Legacy support, confused about why Chattanooga would get the ball here. We'll see if they choose to play it back, but my hunch is they're not going to do that. Played through for Mangaroff. Kusikowski. Sarsar looking long, and Sorensen setting a legal screen. So over 48 minutes played now. Halftime whistle should be upon us shortly. In a stalemate between Crown Legacy and Chattanooga. Who would have thought? A series that has averaged 4 goals per match across the previous 7 meetings is scoreless at the break. Well, coming up in our halftime show, our latest club hosts its first home match, and we will celebrate some of the awesome women who make MLS Next Pro work. But first, we'll take a short break.
Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still sticking ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what's down. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Welcome back, fans. Halftime at Matthews Sportsplex, 0-0 between Crown Legacy, Chattanooga FC. It's time to celebrate Women's History Month, and we have no shortage of female voices and leaders in the ranks of MLS Next Pro. Let's meet 2 very influential women in this feature.
Representation matters. I guess that's why you're seeing my face here today. It's something I typically shy away from, but I think seeing women matters, especially during Women's History Month. The opportunity for women in a male-dominated sport can, and should happen. And that doesn't have to just be at the ownership level.
Leadership is not a title, it's a state of mind. And you really don't have to wait for permission to be a leader. Leadership can look very different. It doesn't have a defined profile. Carolina Core is just a soccer team, but it's also more than that. It's a part of this ecosystem of creating access to opportunity and jobs. This place is special, but we've lost a lot of jobs when manufacturing's went overseas. And when opportunity leaves a place, so does the sense of pride and so does the sense of belonging. And Carolina Core FC is bringing that back. This club is the community's club. This belongs to the great Carolina Core. And so my responsibility is to make sure that this club is a club for everybody, that they see themselves in this, and that I'm leading with conviction in what we stand for.
I think our mission at CT United has been that we provide access and opportunity. We've started with that with the Academy, removing barriers of payment, and we found a wealth of talent here in the state of Connecticut as well as its surrounding cities and towns. Right now our state's pretty much split, and so you have many people that for any kind of live professional entertainment, they're going to New York or they're going to Massachusetts. Why not have that here in the state of Connecticut and provide something that they can have that's family friendly and fun?
What success is for me with this club is this is a place for access to opportunity. That if you come to this club, this is a launch pad for your career.
We want to be competitive on the field. I love winning, but that's on and off the pitch. We have to be successful in making sure that we can galvanize fans behind it, and we have to be successful in making something that is meaningful for the community.
And another moment that I just love each match is at the end of the game, our players stay on the pitch afterwards, and anybody can go down and get autograph signs. And to see the young fans be able to interact with our players is one of my favorite moments.
Women's History Month I think it's really about representation, and I think it is learning what has happened before, creating opportunities for forward momentum and progression. I think there's a lot of work that has to be done, and that's not just through the lens of soccer, but I think making opportunities, that's what Women's History Month is all about, and I think it's recognizing that fact and making sure that we celebrate those moments.
Welcome to the 2024 MLS Next Pro Pick Your Opponent, or PYO as the kids are calling it. To be able to pick your opponent, if you finish at the top of your conference, you should have that right. And we're giving those teams here that exactly. We now turn the page to Philadelphia Union 2. Who is going to be your selection?
We wanted to pick someone that our fans love to hate and could get behind the game, but unfortunately Red Bull wasn't available for this call, so we went with New York City FC.
The #1 overall seed North Texas would surprise us by not selecting a conventional pick.
Vancouver has been a very good season. They play really well, but we want to try ourselves.
It is time to kick off the 2024 MLS Next Pro playoffs. We start today with the conference quarterfinals in the Eastern Conference.
We welcome you to the Western Conference playoffs in MLS Next Pro.
The Eastern Conference quarterfinals continue.
The stage is set for the postseason. A terrific matchup on hand today.
Welcome back, fans. As you just saw, that all-access feature from last season was nominated for a Webby. Good luck to the video team as judging is underway and winners will be announced sometime next month. Last Saturday, CT United hosted its first MLS Next Pro match. Let's revisit this feature on the league's newest member.
This is Connecticut's newest club, built for the entire state, not just one city.
Connecticut's a pretty culturally diverse state. Doesn't really have one major city. There's a bunch of small cities that are pretty close to each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the founding partner of Connecticut Sports Group, Mr. Andre Swanston.
I remember feeling like, okay, it's on now, because talk is cheap. A lot of people say, oh, you know, I'm going to own the team, and da-da-da. You hear that all day, every day, everywhere. And so it kind of, you know, it was late 2023 when kind of everything went through. We knew it was approved and it was going to happen. And it was just kind of, Michelle and I were like, all right, okay, it's on now, like, let's go.
I want to thank all of you who have made today possible and who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to bring these ideas to life, including the entire team from the Connecticut Sports Group.
Before the first professional match, the foundation was already in motion. In 2024, CT United launched its professional academy.
We started our academy first because we wanted to, one, make CT United tangible to the community and so they could see it, touch it, feel it, that we're here.
One of my first conversations with Andre and Michelle, when I met with them and we started discussing, you know, their vision and what they wanted for their football team in the state of Connecticut, the ambitions, they're breaking down the barriers for giving kids opportunities to play in the academy. Once you have that idea, then I think it becomes pretty clear in terms of now bringing in the right people in your staff and to start to identify the right type of players you want to come in.
It starts in MLS Next, and it continues in MLS Next Pro.
I think we're headed in the right direction. You know, we have a good group of guys. Coaching staff is alive and ready. And I think we're just pushing towards, you know, the start of the season and looking to have a good season.
We knew that we wanted a team that was entertaining. We wanted a team that was going to dominate with the ball and against the ball. A team that looked to play forward. A team that is aggressive.
They're entertaining players, man. I mean, I'm really excited being in the league for 4 years and seeing the group that we're gathering together makes me happy.
What the ownership and the sporting director laid out to me, we had a couple of calls before I decided to join the team. It was very ambitious. I like what they have planned for the team, and I like the future, and I want to be part of this project. We have a lot of young players, so I know we're going to be very energetic. We're all here to learn, to get better, and you know, when you're young, your brain is like a sponge.
So, here's the standard.
Connecticut is used to winning. We've got to show them like we're playing for real, like we're not messing around. And then also I think with being the only black owner in the league, like I'm not losing, right? Like I refuse to make it seem like I can't build something that can compete on the level.
Here at the halftime break, scoreless in Charlotte. 0-0 between Crown Legacy, Chattanooga FC, with 45 minutes left to play, and a lot of other MLS action happening in the Next Pro ranks throughout the week. Last night, I was on hand for a pretty wild match between City 2 and Tacoma Defiance, proving how top teams and teams toward the bottom of the table at this early stage of the season can still often produce quite a showcase. And after that, there's been a lot more to play this weekend. Big slate of matches today and more coming up tomorrow. Look at all those Next Pro games to feast your eyes on. A couple big matchups in the East for fans of these clubs to keep an eye on. New York City, Connecticut United, and New York Red Bull 2, FC Cincinnati 2 doing battle. Orlando City and Carolina Core, they had some fun matchups last year as well. That one is at 7 tomorrow. So here's the first half highlights. A score of 0-0 would suggest there may not have been too many opportunities, but that could not have been further from the truth. I mean, there were so many chances where we could have opened the scoring in the first half. Both sides really producing opportunities, and it's these near connections. Passes that could have been crosses, could have been shots. Deflections. How about this double block from Nathan Kohler? And then we're probably going to see, the best chance of the first half where Chattanooga surely thought they'd scored, but what a save that was from Quinn Syret. Well, we'll call it a defensive masterclass through 45 minutes. We'll see who can find the breakthrough when we return after this short break, the second half kickoff.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins
it! The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Chattanooga rearing to go as we wait for Crown Legacy to break the huddle in the white jerseys, with Crown Legacy rocking the baby blue away from home here. They've had some vocal support up in the stands, and gosh, they've had some flashes in that first half. Both teams have two of the top teams in the East here, Crown Legacy and Chattanooga FC, as the home side attempts to stay unbeaten on the year here at Sportsplex at Matthews. My name is Parker Johnson, and I will be with you for the remainder of this one. We're so glad that you've joined us for this Saturday evening showcase just outside the Queen City. Mangaroff playing it wide for Garcia, and it takes two touches behind. Camden had to be sure, with Robertson ghosting in at the back post. It's just how they started the first half. Chattanooga got to be one of the best teams off of kickoff in MLS Next Pro. And they show it again there, just like they did in the first half. Creating some early pressure, now trying to sink their teeth in from a set piece. Robertson. Sarsar completely missed the header. A bit of a blow to the face for Berchimas. Garcia running it down. Crossfield ball picks out Ifasa Berchimas. Overlap from Camden. He goes for the internal pass, looking for the run of Mendoza, who has done his best to dovetail off of Hugo Mbong as that attacking midfield presence. Here is Mendoza. Oh, the run came late as Mbong read it perfectly. He knew there was some space. Watch 83 in the middle. Fakes the run to the near post, gets Sarsar to step, but the ball across came with too much pace, and he wasn't able to get there. But Crown Legacy get the throw and try to keep it in the attacking zone. Cleary looked a clean tackle from here, but going to ground and committing himself early, he gives away the free kick. We got a note from our communications maestro at Chattanooga FC, Hayes Creech. He tells me that there's only been 3 goalless draws in the 62 MLS Next Pro matches that Chattanooga has been a part of. So if it does stay like this, fans, you will be a part of history, whether you like it or not. But I have my doubts as to how realistic that outcome is from here. Two very sharp attacking teams. Dealing with some changes, dealing with some rotation. You got Chattanooga FC playing without their leading scorer, Alex McGrath, and Crown Legacy watching their joint leading scorer, Rodolfo Aloco, move up to the first team. But both teams still with plenty of options. Alex Krell, Damian Barker-John, 3 goals apiece. Ifasha Berchimas has the opportunity now, if Aloco doesn't continue to get games with the second team, to take full command of the Next Pro Golden Boot race, because he also has 6 goals, just like Aloco did. They are tied for the joint lead across the league. Could play a factor as well as this match continues is the options available from the bench for both of these teams, because McGrath is not in the squad entirely for this one. He didn't travel for Chattanooga, so they're without that weapon. Do have the likes of Amzian Sidmahand, who has not played a ton recently, but has shown his abilities earlier on in the season. We got Keegan Anselin on the bench as well, big center forward. So we see a yellow card dished out here to Bai Koulibaly. That will be his team-leading 4th yellow card of the season for the Malian midfielder. And looking at the Crown Legacy bench, they got a lot of really good options. Andre Subotic, 3 assists in 5 appearances this year. Nathan Richmond, 2 goals and 3 assists. He's been their top creator. He's available from the bench if they want to try to switch some things up. Brian Romero, another well-known attacker within the second-team ranks. Koulibaly dispossessed by Kusikowski. They play it quickly with Aaron John and Nifasha Berchimas. Crown Legacy were pretty ineffective with their corners in the first half. See if they try to change anything up here. We go short to Uchegbu. Camden trying to cross from a different angle. Should be Jakupovic's ball, and it is. Johnson offering his apologies. And it'll be Jakupovic who may need to apologize for that long ball out, which does not find Tate Robertson, it looked like, who was leaking out ahead of the rest. Player who can pop up anywhere on the pitch, Tate Robertson. We saw him hang out at left back for a little bit in the first half. Typically a right back for most of his Chattanooga career. He's played a lot in midfield this season and has really thrived in the double pivot, primarily alongside Isaiah Jones, who is being rested for this one. He's on the bench for Richard Dixon, but you just can't take Robertson out of this team. He had the assist for Chayap's goal in the Open Cup match. Had an assist last time out against Orlando as well. Chayap with a meaty challenge, and he wins the goal kick. He has been up to the test against the most in-form attacker in MLS Next Pro, Nifasha Berchimas. 2 old teammates just going at it time and time again. Chayap, you have to imagine, has something to prove here. Spent a couple years with Crown Legacy and then had his option declined at the end of the season. They've brought in Will Cleary from the college ranks to fill that right back position. So they're certainly in good stead there, but it's not like Chayap did anything particularly wrong. But so is the case. It's a harsh game. And he's able to find his opportunity in Chattanooga, where they have been very happy to have him. And to go back to the last point about Robertson, you know, it all works in tandem. We asked Richard Dixon about whether Chayap's play has influenced that decision to keep Robertson in midfield, and he said that none of it was really planned. The right back position long-term is probably still Robertson's, but Chayap has obviously added a great presence there. He's a player who allows Chattanooga to take more risks on both ends of the pitch, and that's something that Dixon really is a big fan of. And the flexibility it gives them to use he and Robertson at the same time, get Robertson into some more central positions, get him more touches on the ball, has clearly been a benefit to Chattanooga as they've started this season. Robertson with 2 goals, 2 assists in the league, coming off a MLS Next Pro Best 11 campaign where he notched 9 goals, 10 assists last campaign. He did that from right back, although a lot of those goals and assists both coming from set pieces. This was inches from being right, but Kohler able to step up at just the appropriate moment. Whatever goal you're saving for, we are all better off with an Ally. Ally, the official bank of Charlotte FC. Ally Bank, member FDIC. Easy to think about Crown Legacy as just a team that has put up a lot of goals this year, but they've only allowed 6 goals through their opening 6 matches. And when you ask head coach Kevin Sawchak what his big 3 principles are in terms of the identity that he wants his team to have, being hard to beat is one of those 3. The other 2, if you're curious, high intensity and a team-first attitude. It has nothing to do with planting the ball in the back of the net or being extravagant and creative on the ball. It's all about working hard for each other. And first and foremost, being that hard team to beat. It is, of course, very possible to control games with the way that you can keep the ball. And that does, in turn, make you hard to beat. They've really put that on display in this match. The couple times they've been broken down, it's been last-ditch challenges. It was that huge save from Quinn Siret in the first half on Mangaroff, who was free inside the 6-yard box. Those are the foundations that have allowed the attack to flourish as Mbong times his run. He's offside again. I was just going to say, I thought he timed it better this time. I was watching him along that Chattanooga defensive line. But we see Crown Legacy trying to go the slightly more direct route here. Be some tired legs. We've heard that there won't be a second half hydration break, but temperatures touching 90 degrees across the southeast this afternoon. And now that they've played on for 60 minutes, oh, this is a dangerous ball out. Mangaroff got drilled. Siret did not get the accuracy or the height that he was desiring on that ball, and then fortunately it came right back to him, but Mangaroff takes the worst of that, and that will definitely take some time to get through. Appeared to have the wind knocked out of him, Mangaroff. Former USA under-17 national team player. Hails from Duluth, Georgia. Played his collegiate soccer at University of Virginia. He's been all and around the Southeast.
Substitution in the 60th minute for Crown Legacy. Replacing number 89,
and they will take this
Mendoza.
stoppage as an opportunity
60,
to bring in a couple of
Andre
subs.
Subotic.
Crown Legacy, that is. Mendoza getting his second start of the year, withdrawn.
89.
Didn't have a huge
Adrian
impact
Mendoza.
on this game, but on comes a
Is
man
number
who
71.
only needs a moment to make a difference.
Richmond.
Andre Subotic. And a like-for-like swap on the wing sees Emmanuel Uchegbu depart and Nathan Richmond come into the match. Subotic, 3 assists this season. Richmond, 2 goals, 3 assists this season. Richmond immediately on the ball, showing his craftiness. He's a very unpredictable player, and I mean that in the kindest way. Nathan Richmond. Subotic likes to play at a slightly slower pace, but more often than not, he gets the better of his opponents. He has an eye for that deadly final pass. At times as well, the final shot with 6 goals to his name last season. Sorensen goes in the book as Richmond already causing problems for the Crown Legacy back line. It's really the worst feeling as a fullback. You're having a good game. You think you got your man kind of contained and figured out. Sorensen's done well against Uchegbu most of the match.
A
And
yellow card has been shown to
on
Chattanooga
comes
FC's
the
number 13,
little
Anton
dynamite
Sorensen.
like Nathan
The 62nd
Richmond.
minute.
So free kick from a sharp angle. Can already see how many bodies are going to attempt to crowd Eldin Jakupovic in the Chattanooga net. Richmond to play the in-swinger. He keeps it low. Deflected out at the near post by Chattanooga. Subotic rolls it ahead to his substitute partner, Richmond. What an attempt that was. Hugo and Bong going overhead bicycle style. That took my breath away for a moment there. Not all that close in the end, but enough to make your heart stop. Loose header back, falls right to Mangaroff. Robertson. And Garcia. Those might be some of the last touches that those two Chattanooga players get in this match, as Richard Dixon preparing to make a couple more changes, and Robertson and Garcia set to depart momentarily. So we are reaching that point of the match where fresh legs are abundantly necessary. Can already see the impact they're having for Crown Legacy. Neely knocks it across. Johnson. Aaron John. Another ball for Robertson to chase. He might know that his number's gone up. A slip out of the back. Barker John has to track it down. He'll settle for the throw that he can take quickly. And here come the subs. So they will not allow Chattanooga to capitalize there.
Substitution for
Instead,
Chattanooga FC.
it will be the end of the night for Tate Robertson and Anthony Garcia. They'll be replaced by Isaiah Jones, who will swap straight in for Robertson in midfield. And the towering striker, Keegan Anselin, out of Jacksonville, Florida. Part of that West Florida program that Richard Dixon helped make famous back in his day. Anselin picks it up from deep and continues his run. Chiap into space. Anselin lacking sharpness in the final ball, but this is better from Chattanooga. Barker John attempting to spin the corner. And he earns the corner kick opportunity for Chattanooga. At Atrium Health, we don't just treat part of you, we treat all of you so you can enjoy those winning moments that matter. Atrium Health, the official healthcare partner of Charlotte FC. Saw Sarsar go over and have a word with the tandem of Mangaroff and Barker John, who play it short here. Sarsar has his hand up. Kusikiewski returns to Barker John. Very well worked initially. Mangaroff keeping it alive. Referee shakes his head no. Flicked on Sarsar. Barker John trying to stand up his man. Well done by Ashton Camden. Cross from his typical position, and Chattanooga will wait for Sorensen. Looks like they're setting up for a longer throw in here. Sarsar pointing where he wants it. Good throw from Sorensen. Finds Kohler's head. Subotic calm in the middle of a mass of bodies in his own penalty area. Carries it out and earns the free kick. Handball against Chattanooga. We are halfway through the second half. So glad you've joined us on MLSNextPro.com and One Football as Eastern Conference leaders Crown Legacy trying to keep their unbeaten streak alive in their 7th match of the season. Chattanooga bruised but not deflated, coming off their Open Cup defeat against Atlanta United. Still riding some nice form in league play where they are 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw to open up the season. Still seeking a first win on the road though, away from the friendly confines of Finley Stadium. Only team that beat Chattanooga at home this year was in fact Crown Legacy back in the season opener. Jones. Anselin. Playing with 2 big forwards now. He and Krell combining up top. big question now for Chattanooga is, without Tate Robertson on the pitch, who takes over the creative responsibility? Because he is such a high-touch player. He takes most of their set pieces. They will need someone to take this game by the scruff of the neck if they are going to put one past Crown Legacy and earn the full 3 points before a shootout. Parker couldn't take it in stride, but it works as a controlling touch nonetheless. The nutmeg was a little ambitious. Richmond. That is a penalty kick. And a second yellow card for Anton Sorensen. And just like that, the game has flipped on its head. Sorensen was trying desperately to get back.
Yellow card has been shown to number
The injection of pace off the bench from Richmond FC, as he seeks out a cross. Sorensen goes to ground. All he's trying to do is block the cross. I feel some sympathy to Anton Sorensen, but he goes to ground so early there. And the referee sees the follow through, considers that a dangerous play, and Sorensen, already on a yellow, has been sent off. An opportunity for Hugo Mbong to put his team in front on a day where it hasn't quite been clicking against a phenomenal Chattanooga backline. He scored his penalty against Toronto. He squares off with Jakupovic. Hugo Mbong, cool as you like. And he celebrates with a grin. Chattanooga beaten by the whistle.
Crown Legacy goal! Scored by number 83, Hugo Mbong.
He has the slow run-up style, and it is so hard to hold your nerve as a goalkeeper. Eventually, Jakupovic goes, and Mbong is able to wait that split second longer and slide it into the empty part of the net. Takes a glut of confidence to execute a penalty like that, especially against a seasoned goalkeeper like Jakupovic. But Mbong does just that. 1-0 Crown Legacy, and they will be up a player for the final 17 minutes. How can Chattanooga respond? It's immediate. It's Barker John. Crown Legacy sinking in. Finally with a lead to protect here. And out for a corner for Chattanooga. That will put some wind beneath their sails. Shop local, shop smart. Rugs.com, proud sponsor of Crown Legacy FC. Visit us today and bring home a winning look. Rugs.com, where every home goal starts with a perfect rug. Corner taken by Mangaroff. Nearly found Anselin, but well defended by Crown Legacy. Well, the referee made his decision to stop the play here, and so he's telling the trainers they have to come on to give Anselin a look. He was able to get back up pretty quickly and did not want this kind of stoppage in the game, but the rules are the rules here, and the referee has initiated the stoppage in play. So the turning point finally came 72 minutes in. Penalty and a red card for Anton Sorensen of Chattanooga. Playing here at Matthews Sportsplex, not far from where he spent last couple seasons with Charlotte Independence. And it's a sour homecoming for Sorensen as Mbong puts Crown Legacy up from the spot.
For Chattanooga FC in the 77th minute.
And this brief check for Keegan Anselin brings on one opportunity for a final sub for Chattanooga FC. So they bring in Stevie Louis-Jean, the Haitian midfielder. He comes in for Alex Krell. They sacrifice a forward for a more defensive player, but based on the position he came in, could be a chance for Chattanooga to leave three at the back and take some chances going forward. We'll see how Richard Dixon chooses to play this. Meanwhile, Daniel Longo entering the match for Crown Legacy. Do-it-all midfield player who played his last couple seasons of college ball at UNC Greensboro. Richmond, the man who drew the penalty kick, can't get the better of Louis-Jean, but the substitute sends it right back out of play. So it looks like Chattanooga going 4-4-1 here. It's kind of the standard formation, if you will. If you go down a player, you just take one forward off, and the 4-4-2 that they started with, most of the structure kind of looks the same. And the ball played out. Aaron John tees up a shot, whistling past the far post. Jakubovic at full stretch. He's got time to set it and pick his spot. But as long as this thing stays 1-0, Chattanooga has a puncher's chance. And that'd be true in any soccer match, really, but especially in Next Pro, where if you can at least take it to penalties, you have that opportunity to pick up 2 points, which can be extremely valuable in the standings. Barker John did have the run there from Keegan Anslint. Would have took a perfect pass. And perfect that was not. Chattanooga will just try to keep this game tight as long as they can and hope to pounce on one big opportunity. If they could get it to penalties, that would definitely be the desired outcome at this point. For Crown Legacy, make them chase, as they're going to do here. Even if it looks like you have a chance, you can always play it back. You're always going to have the extra man. Make them run. Draw them out and then pick them apart. That is the key to beating a team that is down to 10. If you allow them to just bunker in at the edge of their own penalty box, it actually gets easier for them. Richmond waits for the overlap. Looking for the setback. Subotic was there. Chiap's header. And cleared by Husakuski. Teasing the Chattanooga players at the moment. I'm sure the Crown Legacy squad, not counting the couple players who were involved, were watching that match on Wednesday in the Open Cup. As Berchimas floods forward, takes his chance. It squirts out to Richmond, edge of the box. John! He got his sighter a minute ago. And he can't connect the dots on the second attempt. How about the dummy as well from Daniel Longo, who feigned himself as an option. I'm sure that these Crown Legacy players would have been paying attention to the first team on Wednesday night as they took on Charlotte Independence. The Independence got a red card much earlier in that match, but Crown Legacy got to see a masterclass from their first team and how to pick a team apart when you are up by a player. Berchimas got his first professional goal as Louis Jean will go into the book. Pretty clear foul on Richmond. Ended up winning 6-0 Charlotte FC in that match to advance to the round of 16.
To Chattanooga FC's number 6,
and
Louis Jean in the 84th minute.
As fate would have it, that's where they will meet Atlanta United. And they will be right back here at Matthews Sportsplex in a couple weeks for that Open Cup match, taking on the team that beat Chattanooga on Wednesday. Chattanooga becoming the MLS Next Pro team to make it furthest in the competition. There is one Division III side remaining in the round of 16, and that is one Knoxville, the USL League One team. They play on the same level of the pyramid as MLS Next Pro. Ifasha Berchimas gets the better of Chiap. Berchimas, plant foot goes. There's one for the mixtape. Nathan Richmond. Pokes through by John. Offside. Puts an end to a promising attack. And a curtain call for Nifasha Berchimas after scoring his first goal with the first team. Unable to replicate his hot form with the second team this weekend as he finishes without a goal here. And on comes Magic Smalls, the Londoner, who started his youth career in the Arsenal Academy. Of course, his older brother Tiger plays on the Charlotte first team. And his first contribution to the match will be a yellow card.
A yellow card has been shown to Crown Legacy's number 91, Magic Smalls.
He's here to play, and he's not here to be pushed around. Magic Smalls, 19 years old, oldest player still in the Crown Legacy Academy, so this will be a prove-it year for him as he makes his fourth appearance of the season off the bench. His first three only added up to 25 minutes of game time, but he did score a goal in that limited time on the fields. Can't forget about the save from Quinn Syrett. Crown Legacy goalkeeper with a big moment in the first half as Chattanooga applied pressure and Mangaroff looked certain to score. He came out of nowhere to deny the Chattanooga forward, keeping the game at 0-0 just before halftime, where it stayed for most of this second half. Wasn't until the 72nd minute when Anton Sorensen got a second yellow card and gave up a penalty.
Substitution for Chattanooga FC.
You can hear the big applause as Mukiusikiuski comes off the pitch. He'll have family in the stands for this one, the Davidson, North Carolina native. Not too far away from here, and Colin Thomas replaces him, another guy who's played a lot of soccer in the state of North Carolina, coming out of Wake Forest, 5 seasons there, 81 appearances, an ACC champion in 2024, the Demon Deeks. Sarsar. Thomas overcooks his first cross. And Sarsar will play ball boy to try to get the play restarted as quickly as possible, but time running thin for Chattanooga. We enter the final minute of the 90. Hearing there will be an additional 6 minutes tacked on. There's always one more chance. That's the common refrain at this stage of the match. Even if you're down to 10 men, you have to keep the positivity that one moment is going to come. Right now, Fareed Sarsar is serving as an auxiliary forward, deciding to park himself in the attacking half. Let Kohler do some of the defending. Now he comes back to help out, regain the ball, and he will promptly work his way back towards the front line. That's where Jakupovic is looking. Anselin, another great target up there. Hesitation from the goalkeeper. Well, it's a good thing he did eventually put the foot down on the pedal and come out for it, because Colin Thomas was getting there. And in the end, Siret just in time to knock it out for a corner. Cannot afford a moment's hesitation like a goalkeeper coming out in that situation. Oh, Parker John getting in the way of the header from Kohler. Mbong brings him down, but was it inside the box? No, Hodzic all over it. And the first look that I had, it looks like the right call here. Parker John nudges past. That is so close. It's all about where the contact is made. I think that there's a hand on the back of Parker John. That happened just inches outside the penalty box. Mangaroff at the tight angle. Whoa. Oh, there's a man that's gone down here. Isaiah Jones. And the referee won't give a penalty for that, but I wonder if that's why Mangaroff hesitated. He saw the contact out of the corner of his eye. Didn't feel certain. This is that opportunity they were waiting for. Mangaroff going for it all. And you just have to keep that ball on frame. But it sails harmlessly over the top, and Siret will take his time here. Parker John has to hold up the play. Played back to him in the channel. Anselin is on the backside. Parker John still dribbling. Out for a goal kick. That was a big call from the referee, but he was laser focused. Chattanooga not very pleased with the amount of time that Crown Legacy has been taking on these goal kicks. Trying every trick in the book to try to take the last few minutes down off the clock. Hanging on to the 1-goal lead on the Hugo Mbong penalty. Sarsar on the wing, serving it in. Anselin barrels his way through, has Chayap. Fizzed into Sarsar. Back to Anselin. He's gone down right at the edge of the box. Quickly back to his feet. No whistle from the referee. Subotic. Mbong. One-on-one with Kohler. Hugo Mbong looking for his second, and he goes down. Might have been some inadvertent contact as he slipped past the defender. Well, Jakubovic tried to take the goal kick, and that should be an automatic yellow card as far as I'm aware of the rules for Mbong for blocking it. But it won't make all that much difference here. Jakubovic has to get the ball back in play, and he does. Chased down here by Thomas, trying to make it difficult on Crown Legacy. And they have not looked comfortable. Credit Chattanooga for staying in the fight. 3 days after playing an MLS team in the Open Cup, only making 3 changes to the starting lineup. They've been down a man for nearly 20 minutes now. But it's a run out for Longo. Turning on Jones. Jones gets back to win it. Maybe one more launch for Chattanooga. The referee puts the whistle to his lips, and that is gonna do it. It was decided at the penalty spot. Some words exchanged after the final whistle, as this heated rivalry adds another chapter between Crown Legacy and Chattanooga FC. But in the end, it's the home team staying unbeaten, notching their 6th win of the season, up to 20 points from 7 matches. Nearly perfect. Our man of the match is none other than the Academy goalkeeper, Quinn Syrett. We have not forgotten this contribution. What a save in recovery. And then this one, late on in the match, he hesitates and eventually he commits, and he gets there to force that corner kick, keep his team in it. And man, that save at 0-0 really set the foundation for the eventual breakthrough in the second half from the penalty spot. Crown Legacy 1-0 winners at home as the MLS Next Pro season rolls on. That's going to do it for tonight. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, my name is Parker Johnson. Our final score, Crown Legacy 1, Chattanooga 0. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.